Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. So I'm here in Hudsonville, Michigan, waiting to get unloaded, and then I got a load heading out of Michigan, going over to Missouri, St. Louis area, and then I think I'm going down to Springfield. I gotta take a logs class, so but heck, I may get to Springfield and they're like, turn your truck in, because I want to follow up on this Jason Pearson disappearance. So I sent an email to the director of safety, the director of security, and to the director, or whatever his title is, of reefer operations. Basically sort of kind of castigating them for the fact that a driver went missing at one of Prime's biggest customers while waiting to pick up a load, and no one said a damn thing. Now, a lot of people commented on this, and I certainly, as a guy who went to law school, I wasn't law enforcement, but I know a lot of police officers. Over the years, I've known a lot of people in Maryland and other places, federal agencies. And as I said to somebody in a comment, I don't discount any possibility, right? But here's, so some people, sometimes they just want to do the 50 ways to leave your lover. They just step out the back, Jack. They make a new plan, Stan. That's just what happens, right? They don't have a confrontation or a divorce. They just vanish, and they find them years later, living with the person that was their side piece. In fact, they found a woman down in Puerto Rico recently. She's like 80 some years old, and she vanished like 40 years ago. Was married and everything, and so and she just left her husband. She never said a word to anybody. I think she lived in Pittsburgh area, and then they found her in Puerto Rico. I think she's in a nursing home, but we don't know that, right? And so, and the other thing I'll say about disappearances is, a lot of times somebody will disappear, and because when an adult disappears or goes missing or vanishes, whatever term you want to use, it's not a crime, right? Like, the police will take a missing persons report, but unless there's some indicia of foul play, like the truck was ransacked, or there's blood, or there's shell casings, or some evidence of a struggle, right? Just a person going missing on purpose, even, is if it's just their decision, no crime, right? But what I think is important to note is that because we don't know what happened to Jason Pearson, then at least the company he works for should have said, hey, we have a driver that's missing. Here's his picture, and here's the circumstances, and here's where it happened. And as somebody pointed out in one of the comments to one of my videos, or maybe to Lyle's videos, and by the way, somebody said Mother Trucker did a thing about this, or maybe, and also maybe Asian Mai. I don't I don't watch those channels on a regular basis. So, but all of this is important to get information out. But like somebody pointed out, that they said, hey, they don't feel unsafe going there, and I would share that. Like I said, I'd go there, fairly frequently. I was there like a week and a half. Well, today's Monday. I was there last week to pick up a trailer. And I did see like I said, I did see the posters. but I took a picture of, I just did a Google Earth picture of the area, and I'm going to put it up here, but at the top of the picture is I-95. At the bottom is US 40, which is where the entrance to that industrial park is. But you'll notice there's a lot of woods around there. But also there's a new construction site basically to the south of the Smithfield building, which is right there in the center of it. But you could see from the picture that it's heavily wooded in that area, and it wouldn't, if somebody fell and broke something and or was incapacitated somehow. I don't know anything about Jason's health. I don't know if he's diabetic, if he has, I'm assuming he doesn't have epilepsy if he's a commercial driver, but a lot of times people find out they have epilepsy by having a seizure. I don't know about his personal habits. I don't know any of that. And, he could have just had somebody come pick him up and just left his current life behind. But as of 6 days ago, his family and friends still believed that he was missing and not just otherwise occupied. So look at the picture. So anyway, I basically sent an email to Prime, not to the CEO or anything, but to people that should have had the cog on this, that should have had responsibility. And I basically said, it's shameful. When I was in the Navy, we will turn an entire carrier battle group around, right? We will turn an entire amphibious ready group around. And I'm talking about like an admiral, a 1-star, who's the task force commander, will, put, 5,000, 10,000 people to work looking for one sailor or Marine that's fallen overboard off a ship, or is even missing. Like, even if we don't know where they are, if we can't find them and they don't show up where we expect them, we immediately start searching everywhere. And I can tell you that, having been on some sizable ships in my life, there's a lot of places to search just internally on a ship. But we don't leave people behind. And it's the same thing in anybody that's in ground forces or whatever, right? We don't leave people behind. And we certainly don't suppress the information or fail to promulgate the fact that somebody's missing. I can't even imagine what would happen in a military command where a month after somebody goes missing, no matter the circumstances, that finally the word starts getting out amongst the troops, and nobody at the command level said anything. There would be a freaking mutiny over that. And same thing in the fire service. If we go to a fire and a firefighter or a paramedic is missing, no one's leaving that fire ground till we find that person, or account for them. That's just not a thing. And as soon as somebody's missing that was not a victim originally, there's a whole nother set of gears that start turning to try to find that person, right? And so yeah, I just don't get it, because it's just not that hard to give a crap. So I don't know, they might fire me. They might be like, well, you weren't being nice to us. And by the way, I'll put the entire body of what I wrote, because I actually took some of Prime's, I don't know what they call them, principles. I would call them core values. and I quoted some of this stuff, and I'm like, you guys don't even live this stuff. You don't even believe it. But anyway, I'll put the whole body in the description, and I'll see if I can do it I don't know if I can do it in the comments or not, but I'll put it in the description so you can take a look at what I sent. And like I said, this went to Dennis Davis, who else? The guy named Bill Boring or Boning, and Stan Allman. That's who all this stuff went to. But I'm also going to hit up the DAB, find out what their take on it is, you know. I don't have a lot of confidence in DAB, but that's just, you know, I think it's just window dressing, like a lot of this stuff is. You know, you can have all the picnics you want, you can have highway diamonds, but you know, like I would say to any of the women that work at Prime, you know, you could be the victim of a vicious crime, and as long as your truck isn't damaged, I don't think they care. You know, they say you're a highway diamond, but if you just vanish from a truck stop, they'll be like, oh, where is it? Oh, I'll send a tow truck out there. Yeah, we'll let the police figure it out, and they won't say anything. So anyway, yeah, that's about all I got. You know, like I said, I might be looking, well, I probably wouldn't be looking for work next week. I'd just go home for a little bit. Figure out how I'm gonna occupy my time going forward. I can't take Social Security quite yet. So I don't know what I'd do. I mean, I know I could always get a job at another trucking company, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. And you know, next time I am home, if I can, I'm gonna go up there and just root around in the woods. You know, I'll bring my dog, and who knows. But I just feel like, and I'm also gonna reach out to the Maryland State Police at the Northeast Barracks and see, you know, if there's other things that can be done to help them. And yeah, just go from there. So thanks for watching, and you know, try to get the word out on this, and you know, keep your eyes peeled and be safe. Be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye.